Hey, and welcome to my show. Today we are looking at how to disassemble a Jampot. Now, this is a Jampot off a 50s AJS or Matchless. This is off a Matchless. However, you can't go in shops. You can't just go and buy one of these because of the ends that they come with. But what you can do is you can go to AMC Spares and you can buy a complete spares kit. Rubber, leather washers, fibre washers, rubbers for the bush eye shocks, O-rings for the top seals, new double-edged knife heel for the bottom seals, and the fork slider, everything. So doing this job, £36 complete for the rebuild, plus a load of cleanup stuff and like brake cleaner, thread lock, new oil. I'm using to anyway, but some people don't know how to get this out. So if you look at the AMC Club stuff, they show you a load of stuff about how to set up a jig to do this, but I found a little hack shortcut that I found worked for me and hopefully will work for you. Got a vise, got a roof rack strap, got a bench, you're out of trouble. What I've done is, obviously you can see I've got some alloy jaws, I've clamped my Jampot leg in there, and I've got a roof rack strap from the car. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this roof rack strap, poke it through the lower leg, and so it comes obviously out the other side. I'm going to take this, I'm going to whip it around my workbench leg underneath here and join this strap together. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to stretch this leg out. And when you stretch the leg out, you're going to expose the little wire, lock wire, that holds in the bottom washer. Just be careful, don't over tighten those, you don't want to crack your work. And what I will do, if I tighten this, you might notice this starting to stretch out. So you can see those Jampots, as they're known, start to give me some play. I could pull this out, I could stretch it in. Now when I've done that, what I've got is I've got a number of different tools. It's not always easy, okay? So I've got scribers, I've got screwdrivers to try and do this. What we do is we pull back against the spring and you pull back this little rubber washer, and what you're trying to do then is you'll expose this circlip. This circlip, it might have been in there for years, you never know, you probably never looked at it, but what you can do is you can flex this out with a scriber that I'm using here. Obviously try not to stab yourself because that's not always a good look. You're fighting against the mainspring all the time, and if you can get that out, if you can get a screwdriver underneath there, I couldn't, but this is what you're trying to do. You're trying to flex it out, pop that circlip out the groove, and if you've got that circlip out the groove, you can then work it around, okay, with your screwdriver. Just slide it around, popping it out as you go, and what you'll find is eventually you'll work all the way around your Jampot leg, and here you can see I'm prizing that out of there, and eventually you get to the end. Right at the end you might need to back it off again, give it a ping, out it comes, your legs come together, you can expose your work, and you got your Jampot out. When you've got your Jampot out, you can then hold it back in the vise. You saw my aluminium jaws. Do get yourself a pair of these jaws. I'm pretty tight. I got these online somewhere, Chinese, I'm afraid. Obviously got to take out your roof rack strap. So the next thing to do will be disassemble your Jampot leg. To do this, you're going to need some tools. I've got a selection of tools that I've been using to do this. I've just done my other one, and you might want to use a pair of pump pliers, okay? Go in lighter first. I've also got a really heavy pair of steel sons, and what you should be able to do is pull back all this stuff. See if I can cock that down a bit so you can see a bit more. Exposing this here. If I give it a little wipe, see what I've got, apart from a load of rust and years of neglect on this motorbike, which is a real shame. What I should be able to do is get hold of some pump pliers. Now if you're holding it right up the top, it's okay because you're not going to see this bit. This bit doesn't go through the slider for the fork oil slide. So right up the top, and you should be able to get it done. That is just straight not moving. So I've got to go to the next aggressive level. The next aggressive level, they were holding down my camera, but a pair of pump steel studs, okay? Don't forget, you're going to be getting these in here pretty tight, and doing this. If you do get marks in there, and you can see I've just managed to break that, okay? Not as in break it, but break the hole. Go for something less aggressive, pair of pump pliers, and I'm going to slide off my work. This is what you're going to have to do if you want to rebuild these shocks. Technically, it's quite easy. Just make sure you get it apart, get an oil catch tray in case there's any leftover oil. In my left leg on my motorcycle, there wasn't any at all. And I'm not expecting any in this leg either. It's pogoing down the road like crazy. Typical signs of no damping. The actual Jampot is a well-engineered bit of kit, obviously totally serviceable. I was hoping to buy a new set, but you know what? I couldn't afford a new set, so there we go. My leg's out, and what you're going to want to do is, like I said, pristine. Spend your time, degrease it however you degrease your work. You might use petrol, you might use, I've used brake cleaner to get all these bits much better. I then spent a little bit of time in the lathe polishing some bits and bobs up. You've got bounce rubbers to take off. They don't come in the rebuild kit, so hang on to those. Other bits, you can see there's no oil in this, no damping. It needs some TLC. We're going to show it some love. Take off that bottom lock ring. I found these tight on both of them, pretty good tolerance fit, but again, all needs cleaning up. That ring will come off in a minute. And if there is anything, you've got a top ring here that you might need a special tool to get off with. I've tried using a pair of circlip pliers to that are bent to go in the top here, so I can actually get on there and see if that works. If that doesn't work, in a minute when I start to disassemble these, I've got an old bicycle tool with pins in it. Otherwise, you're going to have to make yourself up. Oh, look at that. That came out super lovely. It's filthy though. There is just a ton of years of gunk inside this and detritus. So the thing will be, I only get my parts washer. I'll wash these down, clean them up and get it pretty tidy. But I did want to show you how to take these apart. Again, lock ring. What you've then got to do is you've got to hold this in the vise. In here you've got your seal, which will be a single-sided knife edge seal. Hold your shock body. If you're lucky, that'll pull out. If you're not lucky, you're going to need to take a soft-faced hammer, a copper hide hammer, a leather mallet. I've got my nylon mallet, and I put some tension on this and I give it some welly, and that's not moving much at the moment, but it will do. Okay, turn it round and there you go. Okay, gently, and you can see there I've got my top hat bush, which is going to be changed for a bronze one. I've got my single-sided seal, which is going to be changed for a double knife edge seal. That needs a bit of gentle encouragement to get that off there, which you can see that seal should pull off the top. We'll get that off in a sec. I can see wedged in the bottom there is going to be my other seals. I'm going to spend a bit of time on this and get this off. Do use soft jaws, go careful with the tools, and please watch my how to rebuild video after you've got the bottom off this. To get the bottom off this, okay, again, hold the alloy boss in your vise, not overly tight. And again, there's sections of this, like this section I'm just wiping. This bit is hidden within your Jampots, so you can grab this to get your work off. Here, I'm going to go back to my Steelsons, and again, don't like it, but I'm going to hold it, grab it just above the lock ring, where I know the thickness of the material is a bit bigger, and just, there we go, not much effort at all. You can unwind this off the bottom of the shock damper, okay, and that will show you how to separate your work, okay. But you can see here, zero oil, okay. You can see that there's just some general filth in there. The colour of that is absolutely horrendous. So this is going to get a full strip down, full rebuild, replace parts. AMC Spares is the ones to go to, I found. Don't worry about the club. The club, you know, obviously one place to go, but I found AMC Spares, Mr. Chappell, super helpful. So thank you for watching that. Please watch my rebuild video, show you how to put it together. with the right weight of oil, the right assembly, and enjoy your riding. Keep your knees in the breeze.